Skip here for the tutorial. You're welcome.
Hey there. Have you ever wondered how content creators that you love record really clean, transparent video that they're using on backgrounds like I am right now? No? Well, you're gonna learn anyway. Welcome to the world of transparent video recording. With me, a goober who's terrible at explaining things. Believe me, I'm trying my best. So why would you record transparent video vertically like I am right now? Easy. It's useful for vertical video on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, you get the picture. And it's also fantastic for horizontal videos like this because, well, there's a lot more of my body to work with. Multifunctional. What? You thought I wasn't doing that? Because that's what I'm doing here in OBS using VCFace for my tracking software. But how do you record transparent video in OBS, you may ask? Through the magic of ProRes as a video codec. What's a codec? A codec is a way that video files are compressed to fit a smaller space than raw frames. For example, you've probably seen AVI video files. Those are pretty old nowadays, but they're still in use here and there. They're basically just a bunch of images all lined up in a row and then played back with an audio track. Well, that's neat and all, but they're huge. Consider this. If you have 1,000 frames, and each frame is about 3.4 megabytes in size, suddenly you have a 3.4 gigabyte video file. But what if we can make that smaller? Codecs to the rescue. Basically, codecs make it so that each file is actually just the motion data in between each of the key frames, where data actually gets recorded. So when I'm speaking like this, what you're seeing is actually an interpolated bunch of frames in between points A and B. So I'm not really talking right now. Well, I am, but the frames are representing something that isn't quite what happened, but it's close enough. And honestly, for anyone's purposes, it's basically the same. So what did I mean by ProRes? Apple made this codec to encode video in a way that is much more efficient than most other leading video codecs, especially when it comes to decoding those video files for editing. Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, etc. They prefer to use video files that are not heavily compressed. And that's where we get to ProRes 4444 and XQ. That's a lot of numbers. Basically, it means that it records in files that are much higher quality than the standard you'd see coming out of OBS. And it has an extra feature, transparency. You see, you can enable an alpha channel, which basically means the transparent part of a video, and tell OBS to record that too. This video file I'm recording for this video is probably gonna be north of about 20 gigabytes, and that's just from me yapping. Oh dear God, it's 26. I can see it over in the monitor. It's huge. Point is, enormous, but worth it. You know why? Because this will be high quality as hell. I can zoom in and out however I want, and this is gonna look great. And I maintain transparency. So that means no dealing with your editor to get things chroma keyed properly. If you're doing explainer videos or special interest videos, or just want to talk over your stream and have a little pop-up of you can just do this. Okay, how do you record vertically and how do you use ProRes? Well, first, set your program that you're using for your model tracking to your monitor's native resolution. In my case, that's 1440p or 2560 by 1440. This is higher resolution than the standard full HD or 1080p resolution, which would be 1920 by 1080 pixels. So more data to work with. If you can do that, awesome. If you can do it in 4K, consider it, but your graphics card may hate you. In Eduardo, you want to rotate your camera 90 degrees on your Z-axis, and then move your model's rotation to match so it's facing straight at the camera. In VCFace, you want to record in landscape mode, and then adjust your camera as necessary so that your entire body is in frame. For Vignon, you hold Alt and right-click and drag to rotate your model so that the height spans across the entire frame. As long as your model isn't clipping on the top, bottom, left, or right, you're set. The higher the resolution, the better, because you can get a little bit more quality out of that when you zoom in your video editor. Next up, in OBS, create a new profile and scene collection so you don't overwrite the stuff you currently use. Or you can duplicate them to make sure that you have all of your other assets available in case you want to record with other assets in the background. Next, add a Spout 2 capture source, or install the plugin if you haven't already, and point it at the program you're using to track your model. Next up, for the resolution of the video, under Settings, then Video, set it as high as your computer will allow you to. Again, 2K resolution, or 2560 by 1440, is preferable, or 1080p if you're using a lower-end graphics card. Next, you're going to go to Output on the left side of your settings menu, make sure that your output mode is set to Advanced, go to your Recording tab, change the type for your recording from Standard to Custom Output FFmpeg. What we want to do here is change your container format. Change that from MP4 or MKV if it's set to that by default to MOV. Next up, make sure to check Show All Codecs even if potentially incompatible, and select the ProRes_AW Apple ProRes video encoder. That'll let you use ProRes. Next up, under video encoder settings, if any, this is the fun part. We're going to select the ProRes 4444 codec, yes, that's a mouthful, by simply typing profile equals 4, add a space, and then you're going to type alpha_bits equals 8. And we're off to the races. But we have a couple of other options we need to set first. Go to the Advanced tab on your settings on the left. Make sure that you have these settings on screen. The color format should be BGRA, 8-bit, and the color space should be sRGB. That will not be the default for you. You need to do this, or FFmpeg will simply crash when it tries to encode the video file because it's using the wrong color format and color space to record. Now that all that's out of the way, go ahead and yap, like I'm doing right now. You can also bring up the stats dock by going to Docs at the top left and then enabling the stats dock. That'll give you a ton of information about whether or not you're missing frames due to rendering lag, if the frame rate of your video recording is dropping. If you're having issues with it, I recommend going down to 1080p HD instead of 1440p. For most people, this will be perfectly fine. Finally, put your video into your favorite video editor. You'll notice that when you import it into Adobe Premiere or DaVinci or any other video editing program that supports transparency on video files, which is all professional ones at this point, the video file should be transparent. You can pop it on top of a background or do whatever else you want with it. Basically, you're all set. Again, this will make your editor's life a hell of a lot easier, especially if your editor is you. The fact that I did this means that despite the larger file size, which oh dear god, it's like 66 gigabytes at this point, as long as you have the space to put the video file on, preferably a fast solid-state drive, you will be able to edit much easier, and the final quality of your video, with all the effects applied and everything, will be much higher. People will notice that you've done something right to make your video look a little bit cleaner. Trust me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm available on Discord, Twitter, I'm not gonna call it X, and pretty much anywhere else on the internet where you can find me at ID10_T. Reach out to me and I'd be happy to walk you through how to do this, but this video should be pretty self-explanatory now that you've watched the entire thing. And if you have, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment down below and let me know if there's something I missed. I may be a video editor by trade, but I'm always learning new things, and I hope you are too. Glad to help you all. I'll catch you next time.